Again, Go-Daigo had to abandon his palace, and again he fled southward, this time to the Yoshino Mountains. There he set up a rivaling southern court, from where he coordinated the resistance by his many supporters.
What is the Southern Court? Who are the Southern Court loyalists? The basics of the Southern Court. In Japan, Mandate of Heaven refers to the natural order that an heir of Amaterasu Okami, specifically through the line of Ninigi, that means Jimmu Tenno, the imperial line, will always be the leaders of Japan. There is never a shift to new families because it is unnatural. It goes against heaven, goes against the natural laws to have someone who's not descended from Jimmu Tenno on the throne. Another definition of Mandate of Heaven is also, this is where it can also mean karma. Now beware, there are other ways to write karma in Japan, more specific ways to write karma in Japan. And when you write karma with Mandate of Heaven, it has a very specific meaning or a specific feeling to it. So, whereas in China, the belief is that heaven was something like a mixture of a court and a government office. Heaven is a very bureaucratic entity, and its favor could be won or lost pretty much the same way that a human being can manipulate their human government. But in Japan, it is believed that heaven is a primal force that manifests itself through natural laws. The Shinto gods are a manifestation of primal forces, and as such, the natural law states that once Amaterasu Okami took control of Japan, that is, when the Izumo gods stood aside and her offspring were allowed to take over the country to bring light and order to the country. So when she took control of Japan, her chosen heir, which would be the Ninigi line or the aka the Jimmu line, they would always, by the laws of nature, be the rulers of the country. The emperors don't rule by law or decree. They rule by natural divine order. That is what Mandate of Heaven means in Japan, which makes it the exact opposite of the Chinese version. The Jino Shotoki gives an excellent breakdown of this topic. Kitabatake Sensei examines Chinese government, examines India, the government of India, Indian government, and Japanese government. And he very thoroughly explains that the Mandate of Heaven has a unique definition in Japan because Japan is ruled by a divine sovereign, whereas China and India are not ruled by divinity. They're ruled by normal humans who happen upon power, and with possible assistance from various gods, but that there is no natural order in China or India as to who must be the ruler. Japan, he explains that in Japan, the natural order, the Mandate of Heaven, requires that heirs of Jimmu be the rulers, because Japan is a divine country and must have divine leaders. Thus, again, we see that Mandate of Heaven is meant to convey a sense of natural order based on primal forces, not power won by making deals with corrupt heavenly officials, not power won through earthly exchanges. So, Mandate of Heaven is a specific meaning of karma that involves these two, the natural order of things such as natural cause and effect. So if Mandate of Heaven refers to the natural order, that encompasses cause and effect. And it also refers to one's lifespan, or the length of one's life. So exploring that just a little more, in terms of the natural order, all experiential reality, the universe and those who inhabit the universe, is built upon natural laws and cause and effect interplay between these laws. That cause and effect interplay of these laws is the world, and the movement or motion contained within, that would be the actions of living beings. So like a self-perpetuating machine, living beings move, commit actions, and everything a just responds to then make a result. The results are not random, the results are based on natural laws. Thus, cause and effect, karma, the Mandate of Heaven from the Japanese perspective. The other definition, the lifespan definition, this is oftentimes used by samurai when referring to their own inevitable deaths. So one's lifespan is limited by the above mentioned factors. So the dynamics of the natural order pretty much determines, limits one's lifespan. And so the samurai can only expect to live so long as his lifespan can continue based on these natural laws of cause and effect. This self-perpetuating machine will allow them to live, so to speak. So victory or defeat in battle might simply be due to a samurai's lifespan reaching its end.
Not all of Yamato's clans sided with the southern court. From ancient times there had been those who patronized